I guess to get the early touchdown, I guess from Jim, and the early defensive touchdown, I guess maybe how disappointed you guys weren't able to put up a lot of points yourself.
I'm real disappointed, especially just because we know that's like the biggest problem. We have to execute on drives, and we didn't. So, special teams, defense, they did their job today to put us in a situation to win. Just offensively, we ain't do enough to win.
How big a problem was third down in particular today?
I don't think it was a big problem. We just got to execute being on third down. We were good in some situations, some spots, but also some spots we were bad. I was bad, at times, especially early on. But it just continued to get better every day.
What's the challenge came on a lot of those third downs? It was like 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, something like that. How much difficulty does that add when it's not manageable, I guess?
It really doesn't add that much difficulty, especially versus, a team like the Chargers who don't do a lot just front-wise. You kind of know what they're going to do. But I think that's kind of an advantage that we can have because we know what we're going to do at the end of the day. We just have to execute. We didn't execute enough, and that's why we got the result.
Team-wise, how do you navigate when you work on the Wildcat all week, you're confident it's going to work, but you get in the game, discover it's not working? How do you navigate sticking with it and maybe bailing and changing to something else?
Just got to continue to have the same process level that we got to that point. I think getting back to plays that, we already ran to the game, we can benefit from those, and we do it at times. And also, it just comes down to the players making the plays. We, all 11 of us on the field, on offense, we got to continue to do our job each and every play. It's always just whether myself or someone else is not doing their job for one specific play, and it hurts us. So just got to continue to be better. We also got to hold everybody accountable, try to win when we come back.
Show anything unexpected on those Wildcat looks, or was it kind of what you guys thought?
No, not really. It's kind of what we thought. We just didn't execute as a whole 11.
How frustrating was that sequence there, so close to the end zone and turning it over on downs?
It was real frustrating, especially the base plays that we run to those looks. We just didn't capitalize. We didn't get in the end zone. But that's a lesson that we're going to learn, and we can't have it relapse after the bye week. We had to find a way to, put some wins together and try to go to run.
As you go through the bye week, are you going to think a little bit more about how you can influence the game running? You had to scramble today, and then you ran the pass on the other game on third down.
Even on the scrap, I should have ran it. I just got to buy time and throw it to Elliott over the ball in the middle. He's wide open, so I got to continue to critique myself and get the ball in my playmakers' hands, let them make plays for us. And I think that'll have the offense, just flowing.
But do you think that you can scramble more at times?
Oh yeah, I do think I can, but also depends just on the rush if I need to get outside the pocket or not. But I just think at times, I gotta continue to do both, run when I need to, and then throw it to my open guys.
In those critical situations like the goal line sequence, would you want the ball in your hand more often than not, rather than turning around and handing it off 3 times?
I want the ball in my hand every play, but we scored on that same play versus Arizona. So, I have all the confidence, in those 11 guys. Tony going to get in there next time, so I'm not really tripping about that. We just got to execute, that specific play to, give us the lead.
And then on the 3rd and long pass, the one that kind of hit the ground, was that just like a breakdown of mechanics, or did you kind of rush that pass, or what was happening there?
Just a bad ball. I didn't think I needed to throw it, how I wanted to. And also I just need to have subtle movement in the pocket, continue to get better at that, and then just give Van a catchable ball.
How can this team maybe use the bye week to reset, and what do you hope the mindset is when you guys come back to finish off this thing?
I think it could be used for us as a reset to, think about the situation we in with the wins and losses, and, you got to have the right mindset to go for it. Go from it for there. We got to try to get on the run after a bye week, and I'm excited for it. We got a great group of guys on both sides of the ball, but the biggest thing for us out of the bye week is offense. We have to be better. We haven't showed anything these first couple of games, half the games we played this year, so we got to be better for the defense, special teams.
Do you feel like you need this bye personally? We hear so much about the rigors of a rookie season, rookie wall, all that stuff. How much do you need the reset mentally? I
don't need the reset. I can play every week, if I'm able to, if I'm healthy to. Because I'm getting better every week. The game is the same for all of us rookies. It's just about, just us executing the game plan and not putting ourselves in a negative situation. It's too many times where I have a bad play or a bad couple plays and, just derails the offense. And, I got to be better, on my job and then, help lead these guys and try to win when we get back from the bye week.
Is there any communication that you plan on having with your teammates over the bye week, or is it just going to be like everybody kind of do what they need to do and then come back the following week?
It's both. Check in on them about once or twice. Can't bother them on their bye week. A lot of people got family, they got kids, and they need that time. So, I'm going to continue to, work out, get better, and, try to put us in a situation to win games.
You going away, I know the coaches encourage you, despite your lack of willingness oftentimes, to get your head out of it. Have you find a balance between what they want and what you want, or?
It's not really a balance. My mind isn't going to leave, the building. My mind is going to leave the football just because of how much I have to continue to prove on. So I just think it's a free week for me to get better at every little thing that I need to do, to stack some wins once we get back from it.
No injuries to report. And you look at the game, you come in, you walk off the field at the end, and too many mistakes that we beat ourselves. You look at the missed opportunities we had in the first half, 7 penalties in the first half. That's tough. That's tough to it hurts your football team. You have 7 of them. The last couple of weeks we've been outstanding, not having penalties in games, and today we have 7 in the first half, so that can't happen. And then, the big turning point obviously is getting stopped on the 1-yard line and then letting the big drive go down there and score. So that's the difference. And so it's frustrating to look at it because of the missed opportunities that we had early in the game, or some big plays the defense gave up in the first half. That's part of the game. So I'll open up to questions.
I'm curious, in various short yardage situations, you guys continue to go to the direct snap to the running backs. Not something you had done a lot before. Was there something that you saw? Why did you continue?
Well, that's all part of game planning. I think as the offensive staff, when you go look at a game plan, how you're going to attack a certain opponent, there's certain things you always put in. And so when the staff put the plan together, they had a lot of, they thought this was the best thing to do. So
Any read on why they didn't work?
the defense stopped them.
Did you see anything schematic that surprised you?
No, it just, it comes down to execution. We got to execute better in all 4, not just those plays, but plenty of other plays during the game. I think, our third down conversion rate was not great overall. So there's plenty of things. It's not just Wildcat that didn't work.
Did you feel like the kind of big discrepancy in third downs, a lot of it seemed to be they were very short yardage on third downs, where you guys seem to be regularly kind of pushed back 6, 7, 8 yards?
Well, yeah, like I said, we had some self-inflicted wounds there during the game where we let some things, unfortunately, we didn't execute the way we want to, or penalties, certain things. You got to eliminate that. And we had not had that problem in the last 2 weeks. And, false start penalties, things like that, that's what gets you beat. It makes it that much harder to win a football game and be successful in situational football.
How agitating is it that you get a special teams touchdown and a defensive touchdown, and the offense can't chip in?
Yeah, I should have mentioned that to start. 2 great plays. Cody, the pick, 6 to start to energize. You talk about complementary football. That was outstanding. It's just a smart player reading a pattern, reading something, and getting the one thrown right in your lap, and there you go, touchdown. And then we all know what Chim does. That's who he is. And you talk. You look at the game planning things, and Bones told the team, if we block these guys a certain way, he's going to score. There's going to be a big return. But you just love the way he works every day. And it was a great plan there. So those were 2 big plays. So compliments to those guys.
Mike, how much tougher are these to take, to accept when there's a play here or two that could have changed the game for you?
Well, losing sucks any way you look at it. I mean, it's hard. Like I just told these guys, we talked about playing hard, tough, and together. That's what they did. But we made too many mistakes in the game throughout, from the first quarter all the way to the fourth quarter. You can't just say it's one play here and there. The goal line stop's obviously big, but there's plenty of other things that we had an opportunity to go out there and execute better, and we didn't.
Regarding the Wildcat stuff, you said they and the staff. You didn't seem to include yourself in that. Were you not part of putting that together?
Well, no, I'm part of everything. My name's on everything here. But when we put plans together and they go and install it to the offense, same thing on the defense. When they install it, I would say the same thing.
Numbers weren't great for Candidate. It seemed like he'd been making incremental progress. Was it more pressure, do you think, that was coming on him, or did he just have a little bit of a...
I'll have a better answer for that tomorrow for you. I'll go watch the tape like we do all the time and kind of see some things. You look at the tape, you see certain things, and or you watch the game and you might miss something. There might be someone in a throwing lane. There's certain things that might come up that we may not see, and we'll look at the tape. I'll have a better answer for you tomorrow.
Pass rush probably as lively as it's been all year to get 6 sacks and still get hurt by Herbert running, and for it not to make a big difference in the game. How much did that hurt?
Well, the big thing, we went into the plan, understanding what we could do, how we get after the quarterback. But he's one of the best in the business of his ability to read things and get out and escape. And that's all over every game you watch this year. That's what he's done. He's one of the best in the business of making plays with his legs, getting out. All of a sudden, there's a free runner. Somehow, if you don't have the right rush lane, he's going to see that and expose it and have some big plays like he did today.
I know
You know, one like this that has not had a lot of success. Kind of going on.
Yep.
How much of this is just learning how to win, expecting to win at this point?
Well, I think everyone expects to win every time you step out on the field. I think our guys work extremely hard. We got to play better on Sundays. I mean, I've told you guys this, the last couple of weeks, how practice has gone, certain things, but when you have the self-inflicted wounds, you don't execute a certain way for 4 quarters against a good team, that's what happens. So we're going to keep grinding. That's the only way to do it. Keep working hard, and you got to get one. You got to find a way to win one and get on a roll. I've been around a long time, and just you get that second half that it's, buys come at a good time for everyone to get away, and think about what we can do to improve, moving forward here. So.
You mentioned the explosives on 2 of those. It looked like you guys were kind of like a cover 2 look, and Gadsden and Johnson, they were able to kind of get outside there. Was that just a miscommunication between the corner and safety, or what? Well,
there's certain techniques and certain things you got to use. And like I say, we'll talk as a staff and everything tomorrow, and with the players and everything, and go over all those things.
What's your stance on the push play on short yardage games? Notice you guys not using those on the 3rd and short, 4th and short. Are you anti-using that play, or is it just something that wouldn't have fit in those moments?
No, I'm all for it. I'm not against it by any means. All right, thank you all.